Today I'm going to show you how to achieve polished brows without overdoing them. I'm going to share my method with you to prevent over-plucking and also how I fill them in for a soft hair-like finish. When it comes to brow tweezers, these are my favourite, hands down. They're able to grip the tiniest stubby hairs. These are by Rubis and I'll link them in the description bar for you. And then, as you know, my go-to brow product is the Urban Decay Brow Blade. I've used it for years. My shade is Cool Cookie. If your brows are very sparse or grey or you want something even softer, the Suku Brow Pen in 01 Khaki is phenomenal, especially if you're more mature. This is the method that works best for me because it prevents me from over-plucking and accidentally taking hairs away from the actual brow shape itself. So what I like to do first is map out the shape of my brows using the pencil side of the Urban Decay Brow Blade. You want to think about how you'd naturally fill your eyebrows in on a day-to-day basis and create that outline first, because that's going to be your guide. It allows you to clearly see which hairs are actually contributing to the brow shape and then which ones are sitting outside of it as stray hairs. If you're somebody that struggles with finding the most flattering brow shape for your features, I do already have a full brow mapping tutorial showing you how to find your ideal shape for your bone structure and your face shape, so I'll leave that linked on screen for you now. Personally, I can visually see my eyebrow shape quite easily because I fill them in every single day, so I already know where I want that structure to sit. Once I've mapped that out, I then go in with my Rubis Tweezers and remove any stray hairs sitting outside of that shape. I don't have a huge amount of stray hairs, but I had left them to grow out a little, and instead of just tweezing them off camera like I normally would, I thought I'd show you the exact process I use to make my brows look more polished and refined without overdoing them, because over-plucking is so easily done and it's a very slippery slope to accidentally making your brows uneven. Here I'm using the spoolie to brush the hairs out of the way so that I can access those tiny hairs sitting outside of the guide. Now that we've removed all of the stray hairs, you can already see how much cleaner and more polished the brows look. If you have brows that are slightly more unruly or grow quite long, you can also trim them at this stage. I personally rarely reach for scissors because my brows naturally stay within this shape, but I still wanted to show you the technique because this really does help them to look that much more polished. When it comes to filling in my eyebrows, I always start at the base of the brow, especially through the front section and the front half. One thing that makes a huge difference with brow pens is actually how you hold them. I like to hold mine more towards the centre of the pen rather than right at the tip, because if you grip too close to the front, the pressure tends to become much heavier and the strokes can look quite harsh very quickly. Key is to use a very light hand and to flick upwards in small motions. Once I've built a little bit of structure through the bottom, I then go in and repeat the same technique through the top of the brow. Don't be tempted to just try and draw one straight line from the bottom all the way to the top, because I promise you it's probably going to come out very wibbly wobbly and you'll likely put too much pressure at the base as you flick upwards. Always remember that smaller flicks give you far more control and create a much softer, more realistic finish. Using your pen, you want to follow the natural direction that your brow hairs grow. At the front, you can see they almost go up and slightly bend at the top, whereas this section I'm working on now is the most sparse and they grow down at an angle, so you need to follow that when you're using your pen, and then always go over this with your spoolie to really soften that pen ink so that there's just a stain that's left behind. Now up close like this, the strokes are always going to appear more intense on camera, but at a normal distance they look much softer and really do mimic tiny brow hairs, which is why I put in a mobile shot towards the beginning so you could really see from a distance that they look much more natural. We're now working through the second half of the brow underneath, so I'm flicking the pen upwards at an angle, but notice that I'm not taking the pen all the way through the centre of the brow because this is already the fullest part. It doesn't need any additional depth or colour there. I'm using a spoolie brush here to brush the hairs out of the way so that I can clearly see the shape I'm trying to create underneath. What I'm doing here is essentially creating a soft V shape through the tail of the brow. This gives us the structure and outline of the tail first, then once that shape is in place we can go in and create smaller hair-like strokes through the centre of it to fill it in more naturally. Now, if the tad of your brow is already quite naturally defined, you obviously don't need to make this section quite as structured as I am, but don't panic if the pen looks slightly too defined at this stage because we're going to go back in with the spoolie afterwards and soften everything out. That blending step is what really helps the strokes melt into the natural brow hairs and just makes that overall finish look more realistic. When you're not doing this to camera like I am, it takes no time at all. You can definitely do both brows, including your gel, in under 5 minutes, maybe 3. And as always, I'm setting my brows with the Benefit 24-hour Clear Brow Setter. And there we have it, that is the finished brows. They still look soft and natural, but just much cleaner, more structured and polished overall. The biggest thing to remember is that small adjustments make a huge difference with brows. You really don't need to overpluck or overfill them in to make them look more refined. Just working with the natural shape and direction of your brow hairs will give you the most flattering result. Before you go, if you have hooded eyes or you struggle with eyeliner, smoky eyes, or getting your makeup to look lifted and symmetrical, definitely check out some of my previous tutorials because I have an entire series showing you different techniques and little tricks, including my tape method for creating a much cleaner, easier winged liner. Also remember that everything I've used throughout today's tutorial will be listed and linked down in the description box. And if you did enjoy today's tutorial, don't forget to give it a thumbs up because that really helps support my channel. And if you're new here, consider subscribing for more problem solving, confidence boosting makeup tutorials designed to make techniques feel easier and achievable and a little less intimidating.